up, YouTube? How y'all doing? I'm gonna just get right into it. I was gonna talk about articulation and kind of what my approach is to articulation and ways to practice it and everything. So first thing, listen to different players, figure out what they're doing. Figure out how their articulation is different from another player, and figure out what you're doing that's different from them, and try to copy it. Blah blah blah. But just make sure you listen. That's the first thing. How does Charlie Parker articulate versus how does Cannonball articulate versus how does Sonny Stitt articulate versus how does Sonny Stitt compared to Coltrane? How do they? It's so many differences, but they're all there, and articulation is very, very noticeable when when you're listening to the player, because it's the difference between how hard some notes are, attacked, or how many notes are ghosted. Because I think ghosted notes are part of articulation, right? So, anyways, one of the other things is what part of your tongue. I was like playing classical a lot. I was using the tip of my tongue more, doing stuff like that. But then it was really like I had to use this part, like more back there, so I could. And I mean, and that using that is like, for me, is way lighter and easier. But also what I'm doing when I use that part of the tongue is putting that part of the tongue on a reed, let it sit, and then take it off. So you got. So that way, even if I play fast, when I'm playing slow, it's really like versatile in that way. And the issue I had was the tongue was getting in the way. It was too slow, and so I had to change it a little bit. And so a way to practice that, honestly, what I did a lot was I used to play the horn with my tongue sitting on the reed. So just like that look weird, but that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Just so I'm not articulating, I'm just keeping the tongue on the reed the whole time. And then, so as opposed to you just play regularly, but you can switch. And so try to get a consistent airflow. And that way, you can practice going in between the two. And the best way to practice, I think, is to swing eighth notes, right? So you can do. And so tongue on the reed, tongue off the reed on the off beats, because then it'll naturally accent the upbeats. But once you get comfortable, you don't have to keep the tongue on the downbeats, like tongue on the reed the whole time on the downbeats. It's just getting used to it, going back and forth. So then once you're comfortable, because then if you use the tip of your tongue to accent the notes, you're gonna get a. You don't want that. Unless you want that sound, right? But if you want to like swing and it's like in time and it's controlled. And you can even hit notes harder. And you want it to have speed, right? And so honestly, what I would suggest is finding that one player or a phrase and just dig into that and figure that phrase out, figure out what that player is doing, and then go from there and add more players as you go. What I did was listen to the Cannonball work song when they were in Switzerland, 1963. Yeah, that's what it says right here. Cannonball played this. The first thing he played. And I like, how did he do that? I was working on articulation with my dad when I was younger because he played saxophone too. And so he was like explaining it to me, blah blah blah, and I could not figure it out. And he said a lot of same things I'm saying right now, but it was just like, the thing he didn't say was practicing keeping the airflow with the tongue on the reed. That's what really helped me, I think, being able to like, oh wait, I can keep the air going and everything, because just using a different part of your tongue is like, well, you got to get used to that. But no, here's Cannonball, right? Like and when I sing, or like when I'm scatting or whatever, I'm using the same syllables as I do when I actually playing. Right? And you're not ta 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 ta. Like I can't even do that. Right? I mean, but there's so many different players. Charlie Parker. You know. When the note is is less accented, a lot of times I'm putting my tongue on the reed. Or like Sonny Stitt and Charlie Parker. Honestly, I find their articulations to be similar. But like Sonny Stitt play. You're right. I'm putting a da 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 da, and you can kind of play with it, see like how much you need to put the tongue on the reed. Do you need to? I mean, because if you're hitting a note, if you're trying to hit a note just off rip, you don't want to. All right, you want to. But I'm still ta ta, not ta ta ta. I'm really ta. You want it to be fast, right? You don't want it to slow you down. I mean, because even in melody, find articulation in melody. Right? I mean, so it's a lot of stuff in there, and it's so much to talk about. But there's like a lot of specifics, and beyond a certain point, it's like, well, what's comfortable for you? There's no right or wrong, and this is just my way. And I'm sure as I play more, it's going to change a little bit more every time. Every time I learn something new. Yeah, but that's basically my process. It's just really getting used to the using a different part of the tongue and not letting it slow down, keeping the air going. And this use like the on the reed, off the reed is really helpful with ghost notes. Because there's different volumes you can get with putting the tongue on the reed. You can do or right? So it's I think that's important. But whatever, what do I know? I'm just a random dude on YouTube, right? But no, leave a like, a comment, watch other videos, blah blah blah. Actually comment what y'all would want to see from me. I know it's a lot of instrument pages out there, and y'all can get this information from a lot of people, but whatever y'all want to see from me, I'll try to make the videos on it and everything. But yeah, no, thank y'all so much, and I hope to see y'all in the next video.